We're now going to start on the subject of animated symbols. Now there's two kinds of animated symbols. There's just your graphic symbol that you animate. So you've already been making graphic symbols and you've probably noticed that they have their own timelines. Well, now we're going to start putting that to use. And then the other kind you have is a movie clip. And I hope not to do this, but often I accidentally call these movie clips just because it has something to do with the way I learn the program. But the main distinction between an animated symbol and a movie clip, and I would write this in your notes, is that a movie clip is timeline independent. Now, more accurately, the way to say that is that the timeline of a movie clip is independent of the timeline of the main movie. So write that down, stare at it every day, and eventually that will make sense to you. Probably just by the time we get through these movies, it should make sense to you. So I have a new movie started, and I have an instance of two symbols. The first symbol I have right here, if I click on properties, tells me that I have a graphic symbol here. I name this thing anim symbol, and it's just an instance of that. If I click on this one, it tells me that it's a movie clip, and it's an instance of, and I gave it the name MC. So all of this should hopefully make sense to you by the time you get through this set of movies, but what I want to show you up front as a preview is what the significance of these two things are. So notice that in my main movie, I only have one frame on my timeline. I have two layers. One contains the movie clip, one contains the animated symbol. But if I preview this movie, you should probably not expect to see too much, but watch. The movie clip actually does its thing. And I'll show you in a minute what the movie clip's made out of. But how in the heck can that thing work if there's only one frame on here? Well, that's what I meant by when I said a movie clip is timeline independent. So you could have a movie that you're making stopped, like it has a play button there waiting for people to play it, but there could be a butterfly with its wings flapping while people are waiting to watch your movie, and you would do it with this. So inside the movie here, or inside our library, this is the MC, this is the movie clip, and this is the animated symbol. Ignore the box for now. If we go into either one of them, they look almost identical. They both have 96 frames. And if we go into the animated symbol, you see it again looks very much the same, has 96 frames. The big difference between these two is I would need to give the animated symbol some room on the main timeline to do its thing. And since this number 1 through 4 is actually in seconds, let me go about a second and a half into it. So that would be what, frame 36? And let me do a F5. And now let me play the movie. And also notice here that if I scrub the playhead, I get a preview of what's going to happen with the animated symbol, but I don't with the movie clip. So now you see the movie clip is doing exactly what it did before. It could care less what's happening on the main timeline, but the animated symbol starts to count down, and a second and a half into it, the main timeline starts over, and so does the animated symbol. So it only ever gets to 1.5 seconds into the movie. So just for grins, let's go out here and extend it to a little over 2 seconds. Let's go just shy of 3 seconds. So what is 3 seconds is 72, I believe. So let's go to, no, I'm sorry, let's go past that. Let's go to right about here, 80 frames in. Let's go F5 again. And so what you should see is that again the animated symbol doesn't quite get to go all the way before the movie starts over. But if we do go all the way out to a total of 4 seconds with this, to the 96th frame, do a F5, then these two should look pretty much the same. And if we take that a step further and let's go like another half second into here, so that'd be 8108, about right here. Now you should see that they work for the first part, but then go out of sync after that because the animated symbol gets a half second in and has to start over again at the beginning, but the movie clip, once again, unaffected by the main timeline. So hopefully that makes sense to you. Just, I mean, make it make sense to you. Just accept it, and then we'll dive in here and we'll see how to make a movie clip, and we'll see how to make an animated symbol. And actually, we'll start with the animated symbol because that one's a little bit easier to explain. So here we go. I'm going to set up a new movie. Pause this for a second. Okay, so here we are, brand new movie. We're going to make an animated symbol. It's exactly the same as what you've been doing. Let me use a stronger color. Okay, so I've just created a shape. You can tell it's a shape by when I click on it. I do an F8 to convert that into a symbol. So I still want this to say graphic. And I'll just call this REC for rectangle. Okay, so there's my instance of my symbol. There's the symbol in the library. So let's go monkey around with that symbol inside the library. Going to double click on it. Here I am inside of the symbol edit mode, and I can tell that because here's my scene one. I'm one element, if you will, in deeper. So inside of this symbol, this is nothing but a shape again. So what we're going to do is somewhat of a frame by frame animation here inside of this symbol. So I'm going to go to frame 5, do an F6, grab the eraser, just take a little chunk out of here, go to F10, or go to frame 10, do a F6 again, take another little chunk out of here, go to frame 15, take another little chunk out of here. Okay, so if we scrub the playhead, we can see that we have a little frame by frame animation going on in here, no big deal. If we go back to scene 1, preview our movie, absolutely nothing happens, and that's because our timeline here is not long enough to see that movie. So if we extend the timeline by just say 1 or 2 frames, I'll hit F5 a couple times, we'll play it. Nothing, right? Because nothing happens inside that movie until after the 5th frame. So let's go to the 6th frame, and I want to do F5, not F6. Preview that so you can start to see that something happens there. And so now if we make it go out longer than the movie with the F5 and play it, we'll get to actually see what's going on inside the movie. So let's continue on so that we get a little bit better idea of what's happening. So we'll go back into that symbol and I'll continue this on. So I'll just, every 5 frames, I'll take out another byte and I'll pause it while I do that. Okay, so this is what it looks like inside of this animated symbol. Just keeps going on and on. Now notice what I have here is just a primitive frame by frame animation, but you could do a tween, shape tween in here. You could do a classic tween inside of here. Doesn't really matter. This timeline works pretty much identical to the main timeline. So let's go back out to this scene. This goes to 31 frames now. The one inside goes to 50. So if we want to see all of this movie out here, we need to go to frame 50, do a F5. Now when we preview it, we get to see the whole entire thing. If we scrub the playhead, we can see what's going on inside of here. So that's another big difference between just an animated graphic symbol and a movie clip. You'll find that the animated graphic symbols are much friendlier to work with. It's just a movie clip is very powerful because of the fact that it's timeline independent. Okay, so can we animate this symbol? In other words, while it is kind of disappearing, could it be moving up and down or left and right? Absolutely. It's a symbol. So if I want to move this symbol up here and have it in the course of the time it takes to halfway get rid of itself, animate, all I need to do is do an F6 right here. And now what I've done is I've created a brand new instance of the symbol right here. And I'll just move that instance down here. I will click somewhere between the first and the last frame, do a right click, and insert a classic tween. And if I scrub the playhead, I can see that's exactly what we would see if we previewed the movie. We could also do things like click somewhere in between here, go to the properties, and we could put a clockwise rotation in there. So anything that we can do to a regular symbol, we can do to an animated symbol, including changing the color properties, the opacities, and so on. Now, if you're going to animate more than one instance of that symbol, that new animation should be on its own layer. So we'll grab another instance of this from the library. And I want you to notice something else here that may be a little bit peculiar to you at first. And what we'll do is we'll move this guy. Let's see, I'll do F6 right here. Move this just up a little bit like that. Do a classic tween in here. Now notice this. As soon as this gets to the new frame right there, never mind. Actually, this has been fixed in CS5.5. What used to happen is as soon as you did a brand new keyframe right here, this would start over again at the first frame. But if you notice here, if we click on this and go into properties, and under this section here where it says looping, notice what happens is this starts on the 23rd frame of the animation. So that may seem a little bit confusing, but to clear that up, let me just show you something new here. So let me just continue with the thought I had, which is if you want to do new animations with this, you just have to have separate layers for them. But if a animated symbol is just standing still, they can you could put a whole bunch of them on the same layer. So I'm going to move some of this stuff around so it's a little bit less cluttered here. All I'm doing is going to the first keyframe of both of these, and I'm just going to keep all this action here up at the top. So this is what the movie looks like now. That stuff stays up at the top. So what I'll do here at the bottom is I'll make a new layer, and on this layer I'm just going to drag out a bunch of instances of this symbol, and then hopefully that'll explain about that thing starting on frame 23. Okay, so watch right now. If we preview this movie, you can see that all of these are in exact sync with each other, which is okay. In fact, let me move these back here a little bit so it's a little more obvious. But if you wanted some randomness to this, like let's say you were making a scene where there was a bunch of rain dropping down and you didn't want them starting all exactly in the same place, then what you can do is you can click on any one instance here. You can go under the properties, you can go down to the looping options, and you can tell it where it is that you want it to start its loop. And so here I could say that I want this to start its loop in the 20th frame, and then we can see that this jumps ahead to the 20th frame. So if I want this one here to start in the 40th frame, go ahead and do that. That one jumps ahead to the 40th frame. So now when I play these, you can see that these two are out of sync with the other two. Okay, so have a glass of milk and play around with these animated graphic symbols, and then in the next movie we'll tackle movie clips.